The American Sim Racing Club, home of the fastest growing fixed setup league on the server, the Dirt Pro Late Model Series, presented by Horsepower Happenings. Every Sunday night on the Turn 3 Racing Network, watch the server's best battle for more than 50 laps at some of the nation's most grueling tracks. From the Bristol Dirt to the Charlotte Dirt Track, Kern County to Fairbury, over 24 drivers a week put it on the line for a shot at over $600 in the championship points fund. Join us every Sunday night at 9:30 for the ASRC Dirt Pro Late Model Series on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. Tonight we got a great one here. It is all coming to a head here at the dirt track of Charlotte. That is right. It is the season finale of the Fall Dirt Pro Late Models here at the American Sim Racing Club. Of course, coming into tonight, a tight points battle throughout the field. Out in front, Justin Thompson was able to put up some big points last week while Trevor Mattingly had mechanical issues. He's separated now by 40 points, but behind them, tied for third, Shane Yates, Nick Baum, both with 354. Brandon Marlowe, 5th. Jacob Smith, 6th. 7th, Murtaugh, 8th. Bobby Malley, 9th. Cade Gailey, and Tucker Holiday rounds out the top 10 as we head on over to qualifying. Group number 1 will in fact have our P number 2 driver, Trevor Manley, getting ready to go out on the speedway. There he is here tonight. Then also in this group, we got Casey Childers and Jason Crow. We'll take a look at the driver trying to go for a three-peat here, as he's going to need a lot of favors in his hand. But if there's one guy that could do it, it would be, in fact, be this guy, Trevor Manley, on the clock. First lap of 17.77. We'll see what lap time number 2 has for the 13T. Mattingly across the line a little bit slower, 14.89. Right now, the guy sits second in the qualifying order. The 92 machine of Casey Childers, able to make the big show a few weeks now. In the last couple weeks, has not been able to be out here, but has since joined us for the season finale. Childers' best time, 14.90 last time by. And then Jason Crow out here in the 27 HotLap Hero machine. He's able to click off a 14.80, as that will be his best time for the 27. Now we head to group number 2. That will include Dan Lloyd, who we're taking a look at here, Stephen Hoffman, and Mark Mitchell. So Dan Lloyd here through 3 and 4, getting that 9 HotLap Hero machine wound up and getting ready to go on the clock as Dan Lloyd takes time lap number 1. With the pit road where it's at, lap number 1 technically counts there as they get up to speed, so those times definitely going to be off of what we see as his first real lap time. Dan Lloyd will be able to click a 14.84. That'll put him right in the 3rd position as well. Also out on a track, one of his teammates in the HotLap Hero stable, it is Mark Mitchell in the 07 machine. Right now, Mitchell looking for some more speed. Only good enough for the 14.96. It looks like he will not improve on that lap there. And then Stephen Hoffman cooling on down that 86 machine, or 23 in our scoring. Hoffman good enough for an 14.82. That'll put him P number 3. Then we take a look here in this next group. We have our points leader, and that's the guy we're taking a look at here in the 98T, Justin Thompson. Also in this group number 3, we have Andrew Harding's back on out here. Give the dirt another dance. And Bobby Mattingly in the 3M. Justin Thompson out here. Lap number 1 is started here. Thompson down the backstretch for his first flying lap. Will drive it all the way down to those inside tires off of turn number 4. Let it slide up all the way to the wall. Justin Thompson puts in a lap and does not count. Thompson got a piece of the wall, so Thompson might be in trouble here if he can't get a little bit better. Some guy that improved on his lap is the 3M machine of Bobby Manley. Right now, Manley able to be 3rd quick at the moment. It does look like Thompson able to get in a lap, but only good enough for 6th, as Bobby Manley last time by not quick enough. 14.90 for the final time. Then Andrew Harding's pulling in that number 45 duct tape machine. He's out here from that Wheeling Engineering Company and Milwaukee Tools. As it looks like Harding's best time 15.13 at the moment. Then our next group, it looks like we have the 37 machine of Brandon Marlowe out here. So it is Marlowe, Gailey, and Jordan Tucker. As Brandon Marlowe here starts his first flying lap. A little bit of a different line there. Maybe Marlowe entered a little bit too low than what he wanted. Now Marlowe says, I'm using the momentum, letting it slide all the way through the corner. Let's see what kind of lap this will do for the 37 machine. Marlowe using it, and to the top of the board, Brandon Marlowe with a 14.68. That slider line looking pretty good as he's able to carry a lot more momentum than these guys running the traditional line. At least on that lap, you saw how fast he was going through those corners. As Jordan Tucker right now good enough for P number 4. And then our last qualifier in this group, Cade Gailey, looks like he will round out in the 9th position at the moment. Alrighty, next group we have Matt Sanders, Clay Atwood, and Ricky LeDuc. So we're going to go try and find some of these cats rolling out of the track. Here is the first one in the 196 or the 96 on the car. It is Ricky LeDuc here. Of course, this lap won't really matter too much in the time and scoring, as he will start his real lap right there at the start finish line. LeDuc last season picking up a win on the dirt so far this season with a part-time schedule. Has not been able to pick up a win. LeDuc gonna try and change that tonight with a long 100-lap race in front of us. LeDuc that time by with a 15.10. Clay Atwood tiptoeing around the bottom there in turns 1 and 2 in the 111 machine. We'll see what he can do this time by, as Atwood will complete this lap and looks like will match his time. So Atwood being a man of consistency. Then it looks like Matt Sanders, I believe we may have just caught him there at the end. Matt Sanders good enough with a 14.80. That'll put him way inside the invert all the way up in P number 3. Then our next group, we got Grady Ehrman, Richard Murtaugh, and Dave Payton rolling out here on the speedway. So let's take a look here at the 33 machine, the Rocket, Richard Murtaugh. Murtaugh down the backstretch for his flying lap here in the 33 machine. He picked up right where he left off last week after a mid-season hiatus due to other commitments. Murtaugh able to walk away with a podium. He's hoping to do one spot better here tonight as Murtaugh lap number 1, 14.82. As it looks like not liking something out there, we'll pull it on in. Here we have Dave Payton in the 38 Pinkerton machine. As Payton right now 13th quick with a 14.89, does not improve that time, so he will stay there. As I try and look for our other qualifier. It looks like maybe didn't take a lap. As we see the 951 of flying Brian Wilderson out here. If you're a true ASRC supporter, you know you've seen him a lot on the pavement sides, whether the NASCAR type series that ASRC has or even the short track stuff. But here tonight, Wilderson breaks out the pro late model and joins us on the dirt as Brian Wilderson on the clock here. Lap number 1 in the books for the 951. Wilderson will go up to P17 just outside of the invert. Then also out on track, the 11 of Shane Yates, last week's winner here, trying to hang on to that third in points if he can. Right now, Yates just inside of the invert in 12th with a lot of cars still to qualify. We'll have to see what he can do. Best lap, 14.86. Looks like he will not improve that, as looks like Tanner Hutchins in the double H quickly disconnects there. Hutchins with a great qualifying effort, rolling back to pits with a P number 6 of 14.81. Next car's out on track. It looks like the first one to take a time, Kenny Hay in the 46 machine. So we'll keep an eye on Hay as he looks to complete lap number 1. Kenny Hay hoping to carry some momentum into the final night. Knows this is going to be a driver's race. Kenny Hay lap number 1 puts her right on the invert mark. P number 16. Ethan Bryant just crosses the start finish line with a great lap. Bryant shoots up the time and scoring all the way up to 3rd with a 14.80. That is a great qualifying from Ethan there. And then the final car in this group is the 01 machine of Michael Blessens. Blessens out here looking for some speed and does not find it. Blessens will walk away with a 14.98. Not going to be happy with that one. Going to have some work cut out for him by the end of tonight. Next group, we got rocking and rolling. We have Cam Tucker, who we're looking at here in the 53. Then Jacob Smith right behind in the 888. Then we have the 518 of Joseph Grandy. And if you remember, that 518 last season here at the season finale was coming on late until he had that mistake down the backstretch. As, oh man, Jacob Smith gets a piece of the inside tire there. It looks like that car is still all right, but that lap's not going to be allowed. But Jacob Smith flirting with disaster here in qualifying. That could have spelled trouble here early, as lap number 1 in the books from Cam Tucker looks like only good enough for 15.10. So this track definitely going away here in a hurry late in the qualifying efforts tonight. Jacob Smith will cross the line. He will only go to a 15.15. Then the other car, who I was talking about before last season with a heartbreak here at the season finale, he will jump up to the invert spot. Grandy with a 14.88 will roll off 16th at the moment, but still some big names to qualify. One of them being this guy here, Nick Baum, tied for 3rd in points here coming into tonight. Would love to walk away with a top 3 points finish, even with missing some races. So Baum out here, lap number 1 here, loading on up for the driver. As off of turn number 4, Baum will come. He will improve to a 14.80. So that puts Baum all the way up into P number 3. Darrell Larson finding some speed as well. He will do the same, put it up with a 14.80. So a lot of drivers in that 14.80 to 89. I mean, we'll take a look here at big picture in a minute, but there is a ton of them also out that just did a lap. Tucker Holiday trying to find out where he ended up. Tucker Holiday with a great qualifying effort as he brings that 16 machine in. He will steal 3rd away from Nick Baum. So Holiday finding some speed here late in the season. As we get our last qualifier, we have one late entry that's trying to make it in time, but right now we have our last guy here, Brandon Bolton, in the 124. So Bolton off of turn number 4, he will take his first flying lap here tonight at the dirt track of Charlotte. Right now 30 cars have taken a lap, make that 31 now with Aaron Kirby taking laps. So there is a lot of cars to make this 22 car field, as Bolton able to improve only to a 14.95. Aaron Kirby will improve to a 14.92. So Kirby looking for a little bit more speed on this final time around here, as Aaron Kirby will finish up qualifying for this season of the American Sim Racing Club Pro Late Models being presented by Horsepower Happenings. So Brandon Marlowe walks away with quick time, but look at these times from Tucker Holiday with a 14.79 all the way to 22nd of Cade Gailey with a 14.89. All of those are separated by 1/10 of a second. That is some impressive qualifying. You do not see that anywhere else, folks. That is amazing as we get ready for heat race number 1. And of course, if you've been tuning on along, you know what's coming with this. It is the FMS Rapid Graphixs heat race number 1. FMS Rapid Graphixs offers vinyl, banners, signs, and other marketing solutions, including virtual and real-world wraps and design services. Find FMS Rapid Graphixs on Facebook. As we get ready to rock and roll here tonight, I believe a FMS Rapid Graphixs car is the 53 machine of Cam Tucker here tonight. As of course, we will now run through tonight's starting order for Heat Race number 1, being brought to you by FMS Rapid Graphixs. Leading the field to green will be Stephen Hoffman in the 86 or 23 in the time and scoring. To his outside will be Jordan Tucker in the 66. Row number 2 on the inside will be the 7 of Ethan Bryant or the 76 on the car. And to his outside, quick time here tonight, the 37 machine of Brandon Marlowe. Row number 3 will have Clay Atwood in the 111 rolling off on the inside. And to his right side will be the 46 of Kenny Haight. Then starting MP number 7 will be the 951 of Flying Brian Wilderson. And to his outside, a lot of work to cover, a lot of ground to catch. Starting shotgun on Heat Race number 1 will be the 53 machine of Cam Tucker. So that will do it here for our final FMS Rapid Graphixs Heat Race of this season, as Stephen Hoffman, Jordan Tucker lead the front row here tonight. And of course, like all the other heat races, top 4 make it to the big dance. Everyone else having to race their way in. And off of turn number 4, Stephen Hoffman jumps on it, and we go green flag racing from Charlotte. Hoffman gets away with a great start here. Jordan Tucker will slot into second, but with some pressure behind as Brandon Marlowe, Ethan Bryant side by side here tonight. It looks like Marlowe gets the advantage. Now here comes Kenny Haight on the high side. Haight keeping his foot down and keeping that momentum up as now he looks to the outside of Brandon Marlowe. And Marlowe all over the back bumper, now to the inside of Jordan Tucker. Side by side for second, and here comes Cam Tucker. He has made quick work from starting on that back row up into 6th and has 2 cars right in front of him. All these guys know they do not want to be stuck in a last chance race here tonight. With the amount of talent we have and the car count, they know their chance to take a lot of weight off their shoulders comes right here, right now. As a little bit of contact off of turn number 2 as Jordan Tucker gets a little bit piece of the wall. He will now hold it tight to the outside of Brandon Marlowe. Keep that momentum from that 37 machine as behind them, 3 wide racing action here at the dirt track of Charlotte. As wow, Cam Tucker threads the needle, able to just shut the door on Kenny Haight. Now he goes around Ethan Bryant. Cam Tucker goes into the last transfer spot. Man, oh man, if this is sights to come here for the main event here tonight. We are in for a treat with a lot of good racing. As off of turn number 2, we get 2 to go as some more contact there between Brandon Marlowe and Jordan Tucker. And here comes Cam Tucker, like they're sitting still. Cam Tucker now up into second. And uh-oh, folks, quick time under pressure to not make the show as Kenny Haight tries his best to get on up there. As Kenny Haight misses the bottom, he has to get out of it. That could be the last of the shot. Is off of turn number 4. Here comes Cam Tucker for the heat win. He won't have enough. It'll be Stephen Hoffman off of turn number 4. Cam Tucker with a great drive up 6 spots. And Jordan Tucker, last car to make it here from that heat race number 1. Oh man, folks, that was some great racing. Can't wait to see the racing here tonight from heat race number 2 being presented to you by the American All-Star Crate Late Model Series. The Mid-South's most prestigious pro late model series is the American All-Stars, racing in Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, and more. Find an event near you and be sure to be on the lookout for the 2024 schedule. Alrighty, the American All-Star Crate Late Model Series Heat Race number 2 driver lineup looks like the following. The 9 machine of Dan Lloyd will lead the field to green. To his outside will be the double OH of Tanner Hutchins. Then rolling off P number 3 will be the 2 of Matt Sanders. And to his outside, the guy that needs all the points he can get here tonight, is the 13T of Trevor Mattingly. Rolling off P5 will be the 196 of Ricky LeDuc. 6th going to the 27 of Cade Gailey. 7th going to the 124 Bram Bolton. And starting shotgun on heat race number 2 will be the 45 machine of Andrew Hardings. So that will do it for the lineup here tonight from heat race number 2. And we get ready to rock and roll, because out in front it will be Dan Lloyd down low, Tanner Hutchins to the outside. Like we said, folks, top 4 making it into the show. Everyone else going to one of 2 last chance races. Through 3 and 4 of the field come Dan Lloyd on it early, and we go green flag racing from heat race number 2. As Lloyd, not as good of a start as we saw the leader from heat race number 1, Tanner Hutchins, all over the back bars of, whoa, as Ricky LeDuc, big move there through 3 and 4. I saw a lot of change of speed, had to check it on out. As I was going to say, these guys running very close to each other. This top 4 can throw a blanket over all of them and cover every quarter panel of those cars. Off of turn number 4, it looks like Tanner Hutchins will take over the race lead. Now Matt Sanders going to try and get around the high side of Dan Lloyd. Lloyd a little bit out of shape. Here comes Trevor Mattingly. Mattingly maybe got a back bumper a little bit to Lloyd, as further on back, looks like we have a yellow flag on out. We'll go check it on out and see what happened to bring out our first yellow flag of the night here tonight. Off of turn number 4, and oh, looks like Brandon Bolin gets some help from the 27 machine off of turn number 2. Everyone able to keep their cars rolling after the fact, but a little bit of right side damage to that 124 Christmas machine of Brandon Bolin. As it looks like Cade Gailey does in fact tap on the roof there of that 27 machine. So Gailey will go to the back here as we will get ready to re-rack them, restack them, and get them back under racing action here in heat race number 2. With a little bit of time, you know, I want to do a little promotion here on the dirt side of things. And that is, of course, the ASRC Chili Bowl Nationals coming January 14th. And if you want a piece of the action, be sure to follow that information on the flyer and join in on the race in action, taking applicants at the moment. And then, of course, you can watch the race in action January 14th on the Turn 3 Racing Network. I tell you what, the virtual Chili Bowl is an awesome time. Did one last season, turned out great. Can't wait to see how this one turns out, as I am pumped up for it. And it is going to be a non-miss race here as we get ready to rock and roll here in heat race number 2. Tanner Hutchins away with a great restart over the rest of the field. Matt Sanders trying to shut the door on Lloyd. He won't. He gets tagged. Matt Sanders now somehow hangs onto that race car, but now on the outside looking in, as it looks like Andrew Hardings will go around here in turns 3 and 4, and that will bring out our second yellow flag of the night, as it looks like Hardings will get that thing rolling. But I tell you what, folks, that could have been a lot worse, especially for the guys like Matt Sanders and whatnot. As we'll take a look, see what happened to the 45 here through turns 3 and 4. As it looks like Andrew Hardings enters on the low side, just gets the car to wash up and just tags Cade Gailey. As even though people think we might be pros here on the iRacing Simulator, you're always learning depending on what racing situations you're in and all that fun stuff. And that was probably one of those. As we get ready to rock and roll, looks like Tanner Hutchins out in front. Dan Lloyd will elect the high side. And look at this, Ricky LeDuc up into the top 3. He will roll off P number 3 on this restart with 4 laps to go. So halfway down in the heat race, still a lot to be sorted out, as Matt Sanders now sits on the outside looking in, and that 2 car is very fast. And we go back to green flag racing action as LeDuc tries to shut the door on Lloyd. He won't be able to do so. Lloyd will fight on back on the high side. And right now it is Trevor Mattingly, the last car in. So we'll keep an eye on this battle as Tanner Hutchins trying to say, see you guys all in the feature event. I'm trying to walk away from all this dogfighting. Now LeDuc on the wrong side. He's on the inside. It is so tough to carry momentum down there here tonight, especially while this track still has some tacky grip up on the high side, as it looks like Matt Sanders will take that last transfer spot away. Sanders will look to the inside of Mattingly. Off of turn number 4 they come. It will be Tanner Hutchins picking up the win in heat race number 2, and Matt Sanders, the last car to transfer on in here tonight. Alrighty, folks, we head over to heat race number 3. Heat race number 3 is being brought to you by Pay to Win Setups. When you're not racing with the fixed setups leagues of ASRC, find the consistent speed you need with Pay to Win Setups. Specializing in paved and dirt oval setups, Pay to Win also offers coaching and personalized setups. Be sure to check out Pay to Win Setups to find that extra speed you need. As we get ready to rock and roll here tonight in heat race number 3, let's go over the starting lineup of the Pay to Win setup heat race number 3. Leading the field to green will be our points leader, Justin Thompson, in the 98T. I believe if he picks up the heat win here, I think he all but guarantees a championship here. So Thompson having a little bit extra to race for here tonight in heat race number 3. To his outside will be Bobby Mattingly in the 3M machine. Then rolling off inside row number 2 will be the 5 of Darrell Larson. Then to his outside will be the 16 of Tucker Holiday. Starting P number 5 will be the 518 of Joseph Grandy. Rolling off 6 is the 92 of Casey Childos. Mark Mitchell in the 07 will start 7th, and Jacob Smith in the 888 will roll off 8th. And it looks like did not make the grid, so Jacob Smith will start from pits and hope for a quick yellow. As we get the 1 to go signal here for heat race number 3, we're getting ready to turn him loose, and some extra strategy, like I said, extra pressure from this guy leading the field to green. Front row going to be Thompson and Mattingly as they get ready to duke it out for 8 laps. Of course, top 4 making the show. Everyone else going to the 1 of 2 last chance races, as through 3 and 4 the field will come. Justin Thompson will jump on the gas pedal, and we go green flag racing here in heat race number 3. Thompson will get away with a great start and already goes up to the high side, jumps the cushion a little bit there in 1 and 2. So Thompson losing a little bit of ground of that great start. But here comes Tucker Holiday already up into 3rd, and contact into turn number 1. Darrell Larson and Joseph Grandy, big time hit, as we just caught the end of that there. I believe Darrell Larson, yeah, there goes that right front rolling off of the 5. Darrell Larson's heat race will come to a early end after a great qualifying effort. He will bring it on pit side, and that race will be over for the 5. As we'll take a look, see what happened to bring out the yellow flag a little bit late into that replay there. This time a little bit better here as we look at the 518 and the 5 here on the front stretch. So Grandy gets a good run down the front stretch. Larson maybe not realizing he has a nose up top, and then Larson a big hit to the outside wall. And that, I mean, Grandy also didn't hit that thing very light either. He had a big time hit, as you see the damage to the front end of the 518. So a tough break for those guys trying to race for a transfer spot, as we are under the yellow flag conditions for the first time in the Pay to Win Setups heat race number 3. with a little bit of break in the action finally. I had to go take a sip of water because, man, this is some great racing. I can tell I'm going to be using up my voice here tonight by the end of this one, because so far these heat races have been fun, folks. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these heat races out at home. I know I am here from the booth. As once again we get ready with a Delaware double foul start. Justin Thompson out in front. It looks like Bobby Manley elects the high side, and we go green flag racing as Tucker Holiday gets a great start on the inside lane. Holiday, though, doesn't throw the slider, but able to cover his bases as he's able to pull up in front of Bobby Manley. Further on back, 3 wide racing for a second, as now with that quick yellow, that's what Jacob Smith needed. He now could be fighting for a transfer spot here tonight. As Jacob Smith now works to the inside of the 92, Casey Childers. And I tell you what, Childers came out here tonight with a great looking paint scheme on the 92. I love the numbers on that with that chrome numbers on the car. That looks amazing under the lights here tonight at the dirt track of Charlotte. This time by, we will see 3 laps to go here. Last car in is the 518 of Joseph Grandy, but Casey Childers trying to close the gap as Childers gets a piece of the wall off of turn number 2. He's going to have to now put the head down, put the right foot through the floor to try and close back in that gap for that last chance spot. Currently Justin Thompson still out in front over Tucker Holiday, and a little bit of gap to Bobby Madley, Joseph Grandy, and then Casey Childers, who got Mark Mitchell all over his back bumper. White flag out, 1 more lap to go as Mitchell once again closes on in, but can't do enough off the corner. Through 3 and 4, Mitchell will try a big slider, but off of turn number 4, Justin Thompson adds some more points to his name. He's able to pick up the win. Joseph Grandy, the last car to make it on in. A great heat race number 3, and folks, we finally have one again. A heat race number 4. And let me tell you who's bringing us heat race number 4. It is TNT Engines. Looking for power in your racing cart? TNT Engines will find the speed you need in your American Kart Racing Association clone engine, with rebuilds and tuning to the maximum specs while remaining within ACAR rules. Call 270-699-1580 as we'll go over the TNT Engines starting lineup here tonight. Starting on pole, when this guy wins a heat race, he goes out there and wins a feature. He's trying to go 2 for 2. It is Shane Yates to his outside, the guy he had to hold off last week. It is the Rocket, Richard Murtaugh in the 33. Row number 2. Let's not skip a row here, folks, as we'll have Jason Crow in the 27 machine, and to his outside will be the 02 of Nick Baum. Rolling off P number 5 will be the 38 of Dave Payne, with 6 being the 55 of Aaron Kirby. And then starting shotgun on the field in heat race number 4 will be the 01 of Michael Blessens. So a front row shootout between Yates and Murtaugh. It's going to be a good one here as they come through 3 and 4. Shane Yates on the loud pedal. Murtaugh able to hold on with him. It's going to be a fun one here, folks, as Yates goes all the way to the bottom, slides it all the way up to the top. Here comes Murtaugh with the momentum. Murtaugh will now give it on back as Yates runs the middle to the top. Here comes Shane Yates back. And these guys got to be careful, because as they're duking it out, Nick Baum is waiting to pounce on this top side here. Once again, big sliders being thrown as Murtaugh drives it in, probably the deepest we've seen all night through 3 and 4, making sure he clears. Here comes Shane Yates trying to do the same. Yates won't clear though, so give the advantage to Murtaugh as he takes away the line. Richard Murtaugh going to walk away with the heat lead at the moment. Nick Baum now all over the back bumper of the 11, and Jason Crow, he is up here trying to duke it on out here in the 27. Aaron Kirby up 1 spot in the 55. He's trying to catch this battle, trying to race his way into the show. So far, so good, but everyone here in heat race number 4 up against the fence. We're going to go look a little bit further out and see kind of a middle line, 2 then the top and 3 and 4. But here down in 1 and 2, folks, putting that right rear fender against the wall already. Nick Baum's going to try and jump out of line. Not quite enough room for a slider here, there, anywhere yet, as he'll try one once again. That time gets the job done, so Baum will take over second as Yates will try a slider of his own. Won't quite have the geometry set there. Baum going to take that line away from him, 3 and 4, so Baum up into P number 2, Yates down to 3rd. Jason Crowell, last transfer driver here on the white flag lap. Aaron Kirby was able to reel in the gap. Nick Baum in the wall there off of turn number 2. It's going to be a drag race here as Aaron Kirby tries something, does not get it done. But off of turn number 4, Richard Murtaugh picking up the heat win in heat race number 4. Jason Crowell, last car to make it on in. Alrighty, folks, we get ready for our one and only last chance race here tonight. It's gonna be a big one here, and it's only taken 6 cars of the 15 as we get ready to rock and roll. HotLap Heros is bringing us last chance race number 1. Break the mold of just being some HotLap Hero. Work with drivers like Jacob Laster, Brandon Marlowe, Dan Lloyd, and others to become a true race-winning contender and not just some HotLap Hero. As we may be having some issues, we're going to take a look on our side here. But hopefully you guys are still staying with us, because here is our big B main here tonight. Leading the field to green will be Ethan Bryan. To his outside will be Aaron Kirby, as Brandon Bolin will not make the grid. Casey Childers will roll off 3rd. 4th is Aaron Kirby. 5th will be Brian Wilderson. 6th going to Cade Gailey. 7th is Mark Mitchell. 8th is Dave Payne. 9th is Kenny Haight. 10th is Ricky LeDuc. 11th is Jacob Smith. 12th going to Michael Blessens. 13th is Clay Atwood. 14th, Andrew Hardings. And Darrell Larson will start shotgun on the field. And folks, top 6 making the show. It's going to be a dogfight as the field jumps on the loud pedal. A little bit of a sketchy start there, but we head into turn number 1 under full throttle here tonight as we go green flag racing for our one and only last chance race. Top 6 making the show as we see 3 wide racing action throughout this field as Jacob Smith pretty much cutting the grass down low. He is tiptoeing around that inside lane here, trying to go where cars are not in front of him. 1 car going around on the backstretch. That's a 38 Dave Payne. He will involve Mark Mitchell. Looks like maybe Andrew Hardings, and I believe Dave Payne may have gone around off the nose of Ricky LeDuc. So let's take a look at the turn 3 replay and see what happened here tonight. Also, guys, I believe the replay the live stream should be good. Don't know if you guys have to refresh, but so far we're looking pretty good. As here through going into 1, it looks like Dave tried to set up the corner. It looked like Ricky LeDuc just not realizing that Payton would be kind of trying to flick the car at that early into the corner and just gets into the back of him with the closing rates and whatnot. And Payton goes around, and luckily most of the field was able to make pretty good evasive maneuvers, but does collect a few casualties in that one. So 2 laps in the books so far of our 12 lap race. It will now lead to a 10 lap shootout to decide the rest of the starting field. And that wreck right around the transfer spot. So that's going to be a hot spot. We'll keep a lookout here, as right now it looks like it is Ricky LeDuc in that spot. Ethan Bryant out there in front. Looks like Casey Childers will elect the high side. That will move Aaron Kirby down to inside row number 2, and everyone else lining up where they are being told as we get ready to rock and roll with our first restart of the HotLap Heros Last Chance race. Through 3 and 4, the field will come. Bryant jumps on the loud pedal here. We go back to green flag racing action as Aaron Kirby will go down low. Now slide it up top. 1 car in the wall through 1 and 2. That is Michael Blessings. As we almost had 4 wide there in turns 1 and 2. Now only back down to 3 wide and make it 2 wide as contact there. Almost big time trouble as Gailey and Wildison get together on the front stretch. Somehow no one got jacked up and spun around facing the wrong direction. That was some great reactions by the whole field because that could have been very bad for a lot of people. Here at the dirt track of Charlotte, we saw it in heat race number 3. I mean, you get turned into the wall here tonight, and with the speeds these cars are going, these suspension components do not like it one bit. As we continue to watch the race right now, Kenny Haight, last car in the show, but 1 car in the wall there on the backstretch. That is Clay Atwood. Atwood will get a piece of wall. Oh man, Andrew Harding's hard into it, and Mark Mitchell once again a innocent bystander, but holy smokes, send out the ambulance to Andrew Harding's. Hopefully he is all right after he takes a big hit there in the middle of turns 3 and 4. But let's take a look, see what happened further on back. Oh, this is not the right replay producer. As we take a look here at the right yellow flag. So we see Clay Atwood here. You'll see him get a piece of the wall down the backstretch and then get a big time piece of it with the right front. You can see it wobbling a little bit against the wall. So Clay Atwood having no steering, clobbers the wall. Then here comes Andrew Harding's nowhere to go and gets turned head on into that wall, and a big hit to the front of the 45, only to top it off with 1 more hit to the front end of the 45 machine for good measure as he will roll to a stop. Let's ride on board real quick with the driver of the 45 machine, see what he saw here. As you'll see the 111 get into the wall, then have no steering, has that wheel cocked all the way to the left. Harding tries to move there, just not quick enough, and then a big time hit to the front of the 45, and that will be the end of Atwood's and Harding's last chance race. As already, folks, they are getting ready to rock and roll here with now 7 laps to go as Ethan Bryant still out in front. He'll jump on it, and we go back to green flag racing action here as we get the cross flags that time by halfway down, halfway home, sending home 9 cars as Cade Gailey gets big time out of sorts off of turn number 2. He will somehow make it through. Michael Blessings had to make big time evasive maneuvers, gets into LeDuc a little bit as Cade Gailey still getting ping-ponged around a little bit in that 27 machine. So a tough break for Gailey as he goes inside a transfer spot all the way to the outside. As speaking of those transfer spots, last car in at the moment is this 888 of Jacob Smith. He has a hungry LeDuc, Blessings, and Dave Payton behind him, all trying to get into one more feature event here tonight this season. 3 laps to go at the start finish line. Everyone up on the top side unless they're trying to make a move. One guy is gonna try and go risky. Kenny Haight trying to make the move on Brian Wildison, not quite able to clear. Here comes Jacob Smith. Popsicle sticks up in the air for the HotLap Heros last chance race. Side by side, so you saw Haight get out of line there. Now he has the car trying to race his way in, as now Ricky LeDuc trying to do the same as they make contact down the front stretch. Oh man, folks, what more in store do they have? As Brian Wildison gets in the wall further up front, Kenny Haight can't send it in as deep as he needs. LeDuc will hold down the gas pedal. Haight will block him and get his way in as Haight will shut the door, and LeDuc will definitely have a broken front end after that one, but sending home a lot of cars here. Wow, what a race. I already forgot who won the LCQ there, folks, as I'll try and figure that out here. But first, we'll go to a commercial break. On the other side, we'll be talking to our B main winner.
The American Sim Racing Club, home of the fastest growing fixed setup league on the server, the Dirt Pro Late Model Series, presented by Horsepower Happenings. Every Sunday night on the Turn 3 Racing Network, watch the server's best battle for more than 50 laps at some of the nation's most grueling tracks. From the Bristol Dirt to the Charlotte Dirt Track, Kern County to Fairbury, over 24 drivers a week put it on the line for a shot at over $600 in the championship points fund. Join us every Sunday night at 9:30 for the ASRC Dirt Pro Late Model Series on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Alrighty, folks, we come back here to the dirt track of Charlotte and gonna try and tune up our B main winner. That being the driver that went flag to flag there. It will be Ethan Bryant in the 76 machine. We'll see if he's got a copy here. Ethan, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alrighty, Ethan. I tell you what, how you feeling after that very large B main there race? 15 cars out there. You know, anything could happen, but able to walk away with the win. How you feeling going into the big 100-lap show here tonight?
Man, feeling much better. Didn't feel too good in the heat race, but feeling much better after that B main. Just glad to be able to make it to the show tonight.
Yeah, that's a big thing, because especially 100 laps here at the big dirt track of Charlotte, you know, anything can happen. We'll see a lot of different strategies. Ethan, you're starting 17th, so what's a little bit of some insight into your strategy here tonight?
And just probably gonna try to conserve tires, what little bit that I can. Try to keep a good momentum, good pace going, and hopefully try to, you know, make some moves forward. And if we can't, then we can't. But we're gonna do everything we can.
All righty, man. Sounds like a good plan here tonight. And I see here your profile, you know, has a picture of a late model. You do any real life racing by chance?
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, I do. I race a crate late model, or I just sold my car, and I think we're gonna step away from it for a little while, and we may come back to it later. But yes, sir, I did. I had a crate car.
Nice, man. Always good to hear. And I like to always ask people, especially with the real life racing, how does iRacing compare? You know, you can never get the real life stuff, but out of everything, how does it feel out here on these dirt tracks?
Man, I mean, for me, it honestly helped me a little bit. I mean, it's about as close as you're gonna get to real life racing. But there are some people that are way better at this than they are in real life, and then just the opposite, way better in real life than they are at this. But for me, it did help me a little bit, so I can say it's a pretty good thing.
Yeah, it definitely can help out the skills in real life and vice versa. As I know a lot of people have gained some skills with, you know, door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel racing on iRacing, and then can use it to get a lot more comfortable in the real life side of things, especially on the dirt.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's a good thing, and it's a good thing that y'all are doing here. We got quite a few people in our group that's running this, and we appreciate y'all putting it on and letting us be a part of it.
Yeah, Ethan, part of that very large HotLap Heros stable, and I tell you what, it's got to be a blast hanging out with those guys. An awesome group of guys over there. But Ethan, before we let you go and get up with that group to get a game plan for this 100-lapper, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank anyone you got to thank, either watching at home or anyone on the car.
Man, mostly just HotLap Heroes. These guys get us into a lot of these good races, and we have a great time doing it. And then Marcos Moose Ranch, he takes care of us with the setups and stuff. So, and we got a good group of people that keep us going. So, man, I got to give my hats off to those guys.
All right, Ethan. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you here tonight. Congrats on the B main win, and best of luck for this 100-lap main event here tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All righty, folks. That was Ethan Bryant, tonight's B main winner. And now let me try and get someone special in the booth to say a few words about this series. Let's see if he is around. Zach Kaiser, do you got a copy?
I got you, Brett.
All righty, Zach. I think we got a little bit of time here before everything kicks on over. Oh, maybe not as pace truck loads on in. So we might make it quick. Maybe you could give a few extra pace laps here tonight for these drivers. Zach,
Yeah,
I think you had some words to say.
Yeah, I think I have the authority. We can make that happen. I just want to thank everybody who's tuned in this season and supported the ASRC Dirt Pro Late Model League presented by Horsepower Happenings. Huge thank you to all of our marketing partners as well, and the almost 70 drivers who were a part of this season individually. And what a great battle we've got here right down to the wire, Brett, for the points championship. So it's going to be fun.
That it is, Zach, and I got to thank you for putting this all together, putting in all those hard working hours to get everything aligned, bring in the sponsorship, and of course bring in this amazing talent that we get to enjoy on the Sunday nights.
Can't wait to wrap this one up, get ready for our Chili Bowl in January and the kickoff of Season 4, January 28th, 100 laps at Eldora. We'll go from 100 lapper to the next one and have another season where we hope to be giving away more money and more marketing partners, and it's going to be great, Brett.
That I am excited for. So, Zach, I think you got to go tell these drivers to keep all four on the ground, and we'll let you go. But always a pleasure talking to you, buddy. Alrighty, folks, that was Zach Kaiser, our series director, admin, and promoter out here. Just want to give a quick word to thank all you guys tuning on in, as well as everyone else that makes this possible. So, tonight, 100 laps here from the dirt track of Charlotte to cap off another great season. Let's go through tonight's starting order. Leading the field to green will be the 23 of Stephen Hoffman. To his outside will be Tanner Hutchins in the double OH. Just rolling off P number 3 will be the 98T of Justin Thompson. And to his outside, the Rocket Richard Murtaugh. Starting P number 5 with a great effort in heat race number 1, Cam Tucker rolling off 5th. And to his outside will be the 9 of Dane Lloyd. 7th will be the 16 of Tucker Howday. 8th going to the 02 of Nick Baum. 9th is our quick time qualifier Brandon Marlowe in the 37. And rounding out our top 10 will be Trevor Mattingly in the 13T. Rolling off P number 11 will be the 3M of Bobby Manley. 12th going to the 11 of Shane Yates. 13th is Jordan Tucker in the 66. 14th will be Matt Sanders in the 2. 15th, Joseph Grandy. 16th, Jason Crow. Ethan Bryant, 17th. Casey Childers, 18th. 19th, Aaron Kirby. 20th, Brian Woodison. 21st, Jacob Smith. 22nd, Kenny Hay. And folks, we're going to do it one more time for you this season. This is for you, the fans, the sponsors, and everyone else involved. These drivers put on a show for all of us to enjoy, and they'll put on a salute for us to wave back to. Off of turn number 4, it is the American Sim Racing Club Pro Late Model Series in their 4 wide salute here from the dirt track of Charlotte. And I tell you what, I am getting pumped up. It is gonna be a great race, and I tell you what, you do not see this at all with the likes of iRacing, with drivers being able to do what they do out here in this series. But here, you can see the unthinkable happen. Ordinary drivers, ordinary guys like you and me out here throwing it all on the line, coming to a head here tonight at the season championship. As I believe this time by, we should get the 1 to go signal. So the front row will be the double H's. Hoffman down low, Hutchins up top. Who has the right game plan? How long do you save? Where will this line go? All the important questions that we have to figure out in these next 100 laps. Of course, this series being brought to you by that sponsor you see on the right, Horsepower Happenings. As off of turn number 4, Stephen Hoffman on the loud pedal, and we are green flag racing from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Stephen Hoffman dives it down, but does not get a good middle corner, but man, does he get a good run off. He stays in front of Tanner Hutchins for second. Further on back, we already see some 3-wide racing action as Tucker Holiday trying to tiptoe around the inside of Cam Tucker. So already seeing a lot of different strategies, a lot of different moves. We're seeing a lot of guys tiptoeing around the bottom here that we haven't seen too much tonight. I think trying to save these tires, not yaw out this car. One of the best to do some saving is this driver in this 37 machine of Brandon Marlowe. You can see barely getting that car sideways. Only time when he is jumping on it full throttle where the car wants to go once that rear suspension, you know, gets into the track and bites. So Marlowe going to be a one to watch here probably later in tonight. But out in front, one guy that says it's go time from the drop of the green flag. Tanner Hutchins already out to about a second lead over Stephen Hoffman. Then it's Dan Lloyd, Richard Murtaugh, and then Tucker Holiday rounding out the top 5 here at the moment. So already over 5 laps in the books, but a long way still to go here tonight as everyone running their own race at the moment. No one's gonna do any really aggressive moves just quite yet, as these guys know they got to keep all 4 quarter panels as clean as possible, especially at a fast place like the dirt track of Charlotte that we are at here tonight. One car that is on the move here at the moment, our B main winner Ethan Bryant in the 76 machine, letting it hang on out on the top side, currently up 5 spots at the moment and trying to get some more as now he heads into a big pack of cars as he goes to the outside of Trevor Mattingly and maybe trying to get some more cars. So Ethan Bryant says, I don't think I'm going to save too much just quite yet. I think it's track position time, and that is exactly what Ethan Bryant's doing here. Further on back, a little 3-wide racing action between Yates, Haight, and Wilderson, as it looks like they get themselves sorted out at the moment for just 2-wide racing action as Haight continues to try and work that inside as Wilderson and about gets all the way underneath Jason Corral right in front of him. Last time by, fastest car out on track, Tanner Hutchins, absolutely flying out there. He did a 15.51, that time by 15.54, and that is how he's already put together a 3.5 second advantage over Dan Lloyd. Stephen Hoffman back into 3rd, 4th. Richard Murtaugh, kind of the front runner of this pack that's kind of saving, but these guys got to be careful because, you know, Tanner Hutchins is already almost a half a track in front of him. So Hutchins' strategy might be, hey, I'm going to go try and put as many cars I can a lap down and try and keep them in a disadvantage that way. Even if they do save, I'm trying to put them a lap down to not have to fight with them later. So some interesting strategy here as we look to this gaggle of cars being led from the 4th place driver Richard Murtaugh in that white number 33 machine. But Ethan Bryant has been a driver on the move here in that 76B right now, looking to the inside of Cam Tucker, but not quite able to complete the pass. So we're definitely seeing a lot of different strategies. These guys kind of pacing themselves relative to each other, you know, not wanting to go too hard, but can't let them fall away too much, or else, like I said, Tanner Hutchins already trying to get into some lap traffic as he catches the backs of Joseph Grandy and Aaron Kirby. So Hutchins, man on a mission here as we get 4 wide down the backstretch. Justin Thompson, a car involved. Somehow they all keep it facing the right direction, but that could have been very bad very quickly, as you just can't quite make 4 wide racing action happen here at the dirt track of Charlotte. You can get 3 wide and mostly get away from it, but 4 wide, I think that's where we got to draw the line, guys. As we are approaching our 5th of the way through tonight's race, as now Tanner Hutchins up into lap traffic has only put 1 driver down, Casey Childers, now trying to put Aaron Kirby a lap down as Kirby gets a piece of the wall. That moves Hutchins all the way down low, but these guys better be careful because now they only sit a quarter track ahead of our race leader. The one thing that Tanner Hutchins is going to have a very tough time to do is getting through this galgo of cars, because it's one thing to catch a car, it's a whole nother beast to get around them, and especially with cars like this, it is going to be very tough to do here tonight. As it looks like out in front of this pack now, Cam Tucker has decided that, hey, it might be a little bit of go time, so Tucker out there leading the way. Now Ethan Bryant has some clean air in front of the 76. He's able to get through the pack. Jacob Smith, who has been pretty much on a chain to the back bumper of the 76. Jacob Smith in the 88 has also gotten clear too. He's been saying, hey, let's get that track position as well. So some strategy definitely coming in here tonight. 3 lap cars already 1 lap down. Tanner Hutchins trying to make it 4 as he is all over the back bumper now of the 11 of Shane Yates, last week's winner. So definitely a lot of strategy coming in here tonight, as it looks like Ethan Bryant and Jacob Smith both have gone around Cam Tucker. Now Richard Murtaugh looking probably at the relative, having the spotter chat in his ear saying, hey, leaders straight away back. It might be time to start turning it on up just a little bit. As we continue to look at our 7th place runner here, not too much battling here, but we look a little bit further back, and once again 3 wide racing action is Matt Sanders trying to go the short distance around the track to the inside of Brandon Marlowe. Marlowe kind of stuck in the middle, as looks like Justin Thompson, Nick Ballman, now Trevor Mattingly trying to go on around. And these guys definitely in the danger zone, as our race leader, the gray car with the pink numbers right there at the back of this pack. So that is something these drivers are keeping in mind, as they know it is go time to stay on the lead lap here tonight at the dirt track of Charlotte. Looks like Tanner Hutchins will in fact put the 11 of Shane Yates 1 lap down. Now Tanner Hutchins still trying to put the 518 of Joseph Grandy lap down, but Grandy trying to prevent that to all of his ability. Brandon Marlowe, the next car under fire here on the inside, as Tanner Hutchins continues to try and rip that top side to get through this field here tonight. Hutchins will now split the middle of these two as he gets right to the door of Joseph Grandy here. Grandy having a little bit of roadblock with Ethan Bryant, Kenny Haight in front of him, as now maybe Haight is in the danger zone here, but now Grandy has the momentum. Here comes Shane Yates to fight for his lap back. Further up front, Jacob Smith has gone around Ethan Bryant, but Richard Murtaugh has gone around the both of them. Cam Tucker trying to get the spot back from the 76B. Looks like he'll do that, as they are up against the fence here tonight, as battle for third, as Murtaugh throws the slider on Stephen Hoffman. Hoffman will cut it down below the 33 and then send a huge one back. Will jump the cushion and get a piece of the wall. So Stephen Hoffman will get a little bit of the wall, but able to still hang on to that 4th position here tonight, at least for at the moment. So these guys kind of running their own Dan Lloyd about a straightaway in front of them. And then of course our race leader Tanner Hutchins still trying to work over this lap traffic here tonight, has now been stuck to the inside lane, and we know how much of a disadvantage it is down there, and so far hasn't been really able to put too many more people a lap down at the moment. As we look a little bit further up front, oh, big time contact as one car slow here. I believe that's the 88 of Jacob Smith. Looks like he will be able to keep it out of harm's way, but Smith definitely having some damage to that right front. We're going to try and get a camera view, and there it is. You can see the damage. That right front disconnected, and Jacob Smith's night will come to a early end as we're going to try and figure out what happened. You can see already him and Cam Tucker already side by side, some more contact, and I believe that final contact there is what broke the right front off of Jacob Smith. Luckily, everyone else able to do some great evasive maneuvering as he was not able to control that race car. We're going to try and go a little bit further back and see if we can find maybe what happened between the two of them. Let's see if this was shown. Oh, so Cam Tucker and Stephen Hoffman get into it. And then, let's see if this will show it. All right, this should at least have it here as we'll try and, of course, get us some time. As, of course, that's too far back. As it looks like off of turn number 4, Cam Tucker just not able to clear a slide job on the driver of the 83 machine. And then Jacob Smith, kind of an innocent bystander, will get the worst end of that, and his night will come to a early end, as at the moment it looks like we have put down, I believe, 4 cars a lap down. But you got to wonder, how is those tires on our race leader, Tanner Hutchins? Those tires have got to be pretty worn here tonight. As the top 5 will look like the following: Tanner Hutchins leading the way, Dan Lloyd into second, Richard Murtaugh third, Stephen Hoffman fourth, and Tucker Holliday has made his way back up to the top 5. He will round out the top 5 on this restart. Looks like we are still under the yellow flag condition, so we'll look a little bit further back. 6th at the moment is Cam Tucker. 7th will be the 76 of Ethan Bryan. 8th is Brian Wilderson. 9th is Nick Baum and Justin Thompson, rounding out our top 10 here. So first yellow flag of the night, and we got to thank, of course, one of our big sponsors here this season, and that is Horsepower Happenings. Horsepower Happenings is Michigan's leader for short track racing coverage, with a weekly podcast all year long and social media coverage of select events. Find Horsepower Happenings on your favorite streaming service and on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. As it looks like we have some timing and scoring issues up in the tower here, so we're going to try and get those things all sorted with our little bit of time. I'm going to go try and dial up some fun news for next season, and that is, of course, next season's schedule. We heard Zach say a little bit before tonight's main event, we'll end with a 100-lapper. We will go to a 100-lapper, and that is the fact. On January 28th, the season returns on Sunday nights to the world-famous Eldora Speedway for a 100-lapper. And then there is the schedule, and I tell you what, I am excited for that, with a all-star showcase there on March 17th. It is going to be a good season, and be sure to keep your Sunday nights free, because that is some racing you won't want to miss. All righty, looks like we got everything sorted out. Tanner Hutchins on the loud pedal. We go back to green flag racing action here at the dirt track of Charlotte, and now we got to wonder, how do people's tires feel? How do their cars feel? As we see some 3 wide, maybe not quite off at turn number 2 that time. So as of right now, only 1 car pit side. That is Jacob Smith bringing out the most recent yellow with the right side damage. But still, we have 5 cars 1 lap down here. Brandon Marlowe was able to get the lucky dog and get back on the lead lap. So as we approach the halfway mark, we'll see. It looks like not too many people are saving. I think there are a few that aren't quite turning up the wick, you know, to 100%. But there's definitely drivers like Dan Lloyd now turning it on up, trying to get the race lead here from Tanner Hutchins. So far, Hutchins has led every lap so far, but Lloyd trying to turn the tables. Murtaugh still in a little bit of save mode. You can see those leaders getting on away from him, but he is trying to save as we ride on board with Richard Murtaugh and hear what he's doing to save tire. And you can hear him very cautious on that loud pedal. Actually has a little bit of throttle on corner entry, maybe to try and get the car to rotate with the throttle and not really shock the right front or right rear with, you know, getting off it aggressively and getting on it. I like to hear that from a driver myself, as he is definitely taking care of those tires, even with a little bit of pressure from behind of Stephen Hoffman, who is now all over the back bumper of that Premier Setup Shop's number 33 machine. Further on back, Matt Sanders continues to slice his way through the field. He is now looking to try and get around Tucker Holiday for that 7th position, but right now, biggest man on a mission making a return to the dirt in this series, flying Brian Wildison up 14 spots from where he started tonight, just outside of the top 5 here at the moment. Off of turn number 4, it looks like Tanner Hutchins still leading the way. Dan Lloyd not making this race easy for Hutchins, as he is still all over the back bumper of our race leader. But this time by here, folks, at the flag stand, we see cross flags from the flagman halfway down, halfway home in the championship race here tonight. As they stack up here in the points, Justin Thompson does have the championship over Trevor Manley. Of course, Manley only 2 spots in front. Then for the 3rd position, it is Nick Baum by a little bit, with Shane Yates getting trapped a lap down. So Yates racing with the 27 of Jason Crow to try and get back on the lead lap. So Yates has a lot of work to do here tonight, as he needs a little bit of help, and he might get it. No, he'll be involved, as Nick Baum will go on around. This shakes up 3rd in points big time, as we were just saying, both those cars heavy in the points, especially for 3rd, and both of them involved in this one. Nick Baum with a heavy front end damage there to the O2 machine, and I believe Shane Yates, he might have a broken right front here, folks. That he does, as you see a wobbling there as he tries to get to pit road. So Shane Yates' race will probably be over, and that is a tough break for both of them, because I assume they wanted to race it out to the end. So holy smokes, big time playoff implications, as this could add a lot more into it. As we take a look here at the turn 3 replay, see what happened in turns 1 and 2 to start off the 2nd yellow here with Nick Baum. So Baum will slide it on in there in the middle, and looks like Justin Thompson will just get to the right rear. He almost had it saved, but Jason Crow having nowhere to go. He'll get in the right front of Shane Yates, and Casey Childers having nowhere to go. As I got to check out this damage to the front end of maybe Crow here in the 27, as looks like a little bit of right front or left front damage, but not too bad. So big time shakeups going on here tonight. As over here, we did get some update from Andrew Hardings in the YouTube channel. He says that one hurt there, but he is seeming okay. So that is good to hear, as he took a big time hit there in the B main here tonight, as we get our 2nd yellow flag of the night just after the halfway point here at the dirt track of Charlotte. Now this is where it gets wild. After the halfway point, when do people decide to turn it up, as the restarts are definitely the time to get past and done while everyone's bunched up. But is it still too early with 48 laps still left on the table? That's still more laps than one of our shortest races here this season. So a lot these drivers are thinking about as they are pacing under our second yellow flag of tonight. As once again, folks, I got to thank all you guys tuning on here on your Sunday night. Looks like we have about 17 live viewers watching the stream here at home. We got to thank everyone from the Turn 3 Racing Network. Of course, I am Brett the Jet in the booth here tonight, bringing you the racing action, as I believe we'll get right to that here as the lights go out at the dirt track of Charlotte, and we get ready to rock and roll. Tanner Hutchins out front by himself. Dan Lloyd will pick the inside lane. Stephen Hoffman will start outside of row number 2. As the field heads through 3 and 4, and you can see how slick this track is getting. And we go back to green flag racing action here at the dirt track of Charlotte. Tanner Hutchins will get away with another good start here. It looks like everyone through the field looking pretty decent here at the moment. As you can see, the slick getting very, very wide, especially on corner entry. Then you got it all the way through the middle and starting to get it all the way through the top. So these drivers continue to push the cushion up closer and closer to this wall until they are going to be laying their quarter panels on it all the way through the corner. As it is almost to that point in 1 and 2, 3 and 4, they still got a little bit of movement as we see Cam Tucker further on back. He is up against the wall already as we ride on board with Cam Tucker. So Cam Tucker currently running in the 8th position here. And you can see these guys up in the cushion at the moment, using that extra little banking to help get some traction in that right rear, get these cars pointed where they need. As this time by, we get 60% done with this race, 60 in the books. 40 laps to go. Still, Tanner Hutchins leads the way over Dan Lloyd. Stephen Hoffman has made it back up to that 3rd position. Ethan Bryan 4th. 5th going to Flying Brian Wilderson, our biggest mover at the moment, up 15 spots as he does searching around this track just a little bit. We'll get a piece of the wall off of turn number 2 though. Guy I'm going to keep an eye on here, see when he turns it on up. Richard Murtaugh still not really yawing out that car too much, which is telling me, hey, I'm still saving some of that right rear. It's still a long race to go. So if I was a betting man, I would say he's waiting for this next yellow flag. If we get one in the last 30, then he's turning that 33 loose. Because at this point, you can't afford to lose too many positions out on track. Because if you do, that is just a recipe for sending yourself to get either caught up in a wreck or just putting yourself in bad situations. Right now, Justin Thompson, I believe, did take the claim for that most recent yellow, currently running in the 18th position. Last car in the long line of cars, but still 4 cars, 1 lap down. As everyone else, mostly single file, but interesting. The line has kind of moved from all the way up at the wall to about a middle line here. As you see Cam Tucker throwing a big slider there on Brian Wilderson. Wilderson would slide him on over, and Murtaugh gets door checked, I believe, from the 16 of Tucker Holiday. So Murtaugh loses a handful of spots, maybe more, as he tries to get the momentum going back in the 33 machine. Oh man, it's going to get wild here as Wilderson and Tucker were throwing haymakers back and forth, allowed the rest of the field to catch right back up to him. But out in front, new race leader Dan Lloyd has taken over the race lead from Tanner Hutchins. So Lloyd leads the way over Hutchins, and now Ethan Bryant throwing a slider on Stephen Hoffman. Bryant now up into the podium spots. Ethan Bryant, a man on a mission, winning the B main, trying to maybe win the main event here tonight. I believe that hasn't been done. It may have been done by Tucker Holiday, but I can't quite remember. I think Holiday may have finished second when he did this. Holy smokes, what a slide job from Matt Sanders there. He put the left front and the left rear in the grass there to get as low as possible, but he tried to make it work, couldn't quite get it fully done. But man, that was some commitment by Matt Sanders to say, here we go, I'm throwing it down low, and if I get a tire, I get a tire. If not, we're going to see how this works. One car on a mission here now. Trevor Manley starting to turn up the wick in that 13T. Manley and Brian Wilderson battling for the 6th position. So I think we're starting to see some drivers getting in on as looks like Jordan Tucker having some issues. Looks like he will call it another tough break for that 66 machine. Oh, it's big time door check down the backstretch between Brian Wilderson and Matt Sanders. Both cars able to get it in the right direction, but this guy up on the top, he's saying it's go time. Richard Murtaugh has been flirting with the wall once again, in it again, as we're going to ride on board with Richard Murtaugh here. And you can see him, man, he is laying on as we got one car going around behind him. I believe that was Brian Wilderson there, as Wilderson, in fact, getting that car rolling again in the 951. But that is a tough break for Wilderson, as we'll take a look, see what happened to the 951 here in 3 and 4. So Wilderson, I think tires starting to go, starting to fade back through the field here tonight. Tried to slide up in front of Kenny Hayden. Haight having nowhere to go, no time to react. Gets in the back bumper of the 951, and luckily everyone able to make evasive maneuvers, not clobber the stop 951, as that brings out our 3rd yellow flag of the night. So a little bit of shake up in the standings. Top 5 looking like the following: Dan Lloyd out in front, Tanner Hutchins 2nd, Ethan Bryan 3rd, Stephen Hoffman 4th, Cam Tucker 5th. 6th is Trevor Manley, 7th Tucker Holiday, 8th Matt Sanders, 9th Richard Murtaugh, and rounding out the top 10 is this guy. Quick time here tonight, Brandon Marlowe in the 37. Looks like Aaron Kirby gets the lucky dog this time by, so that moves now 19 cars once again back on the lead lap. And folks, it is going to be go time from here on out. Like I said, I think this is what a lot of drivers were waiting for, a yellow flag in the last 30 to turn up the wick back up to that 95%, as this is where it gets going with 25 laps to go. And don't forget, folks, be sure to stick around with post-race interviews of the top 3, as well as crowning our champion here tonight. So Dan Lloyd out in front. Looks like Tanner Hutchins will elect the high side. That moves Ethan Bryant to the inside of row number 2 as we get ready to rock and roll. Through 3 and 4 they come, and Here we go, folks. They get back on it, and what a restart for Ethan Bryant. He might have beat Dan Lloyd to the line, as it looks like Stephen Hoffman gets a piece of the wall. Here comes Ethan Bryant from 17th to 1st. Ethan Bryant leading the way in the B main, now leading the way in the A main. Man, what it would be if he could pull off the win here tonight. He's got to hold off a lot of hard charges coming up through the field. Oh man, a little bit of contact further on back as 3 wide just got squeezed together. As now Stephen Hoffman starting to fade through the field. I think his tires are all but cooked in that 86 machine as they go 3, almost 4 wide there, as Bobby Manley tries to thread the needle to the outside of Jason Crowell. They once again stay 3 wide heading into turn number 1. Manley continues to try and work the top side of Crowell and Yates. Yates has kept him pretty much the same, with Yates working that inside lane here. They have stayed door to door. Now Yates a little bit of advantage here. Further up front, Matt Sanders trying to go to the high side, that of Brandon Marlowe and Tanner Hutchins. Hutchins, I think his car is all but all used up here as he continues to slide in the wrong direction late here tonight. Out in front though, new race leader Trevor Mattingly trying to end the season on a high note with a win, but Tucker Holiday has kept right on his back bumper. He stays there. New front 2, Trevor Mattingly, Tucker Holiday. Ethan Bryant slides to 3rd. Here comes Matt Sanders to the outside of Dan Lloyd. They make a little bit of contact, and then here comes Richard Murtaugh as well. Murtaugh will go to the high side. Lloyd will go around in front of the field. Big time calamity in 1 and 2 as everyone tries to get on around, but that will involve Cam Tucker and Bobby Manley as Lloyd will sit stopped on the high side of 3 and 4. That is some big time calamity there in turns number 1. As we take a look here at the replay here, Lloyd tries to maybe cover up Murtaugh. Murtaugh with the run just gets a nose to the high side but sends him around. Brandon Marlowe having nowhere to go, and then Cam Tucker nowhere to go. Big time hit for him and the 3M of Bobby Mattingly. We're going to try and ride on board with Mattingly here to see this turn 3 replay here. As you can see, one car going around in the distance gets clipped there. I don't think he would have went to the high side, but then, yeah, Bobby Manley set himself up on the high side to run that line. Absolutely had no options where to go or what to do there. And it looks like an early exit for those 3 cars here at the moment. So our 4th yellow flag of the night flying inside of now 20 laps to go. A little bit of a shake up out front as Trevor Manley leads the way over Tucker Holiday in 2nd, Ethan Bryant 3rd, Matt Sanders 4th, Richard Murtaugh 5th, 6th going to Brandon Marlowe, 7th is Joseph Grandy. Like I said last season, folks, Joseph Grandy, a man on the mission at the end of the race and having that tough luck there. He now finds himself in a pretty good spot in 9th. And then rounding out the top 10, this guy has stuck through it all, and so far hanging on to a top 10, Kenny Haight, rounding out the top 10, I believe. Sorry, Kenny Haight 9th. Shane Yates rounding out the top 10 once a lap down, now on the lead lap and into 10th. Alrighty, folks, I believe it is choose time at the line. Trevor Medley out in front. Tucker Holliday will take the inside lane here as Ethan Bryant will head to the top side of row number 2. And we get ready to rock and roll for a 20 lap shootout here tonight as Trevor Mattingly leads the field to green. On it here early, trying to run away from the rest of the field. We go back to green flag racing action. Ethan Bryant, a lot of tire spin from him. You can tell his car is hurt and trying to find out where the yellow flag is. Maybe our leader didn't like that start. We'll take a look, maybe see if Dan Lloyd had an issue. Yeah, I mean, I don't see anyone through the field having an issue, so maybe race control didn't like the start, as we'll try it again, I believe. So we get the field re-racked and restacked and get ready to go back racing action here at the dirt track of Charlotte. Once again, still the same lineup as these drivers get ready to rock and roll for, like I said before, a less than 20 lap shootout as Pace Truck still stays on out, so we still get a little bit more time. Alrighty, folks, the iRacing Pace Truck heads to pit road. So now we get ready to rock and roll. We'll see if race control likes this start better. Through 3 and 4, Trevor Mattingly, T-Matt on the loud pedal. We go back to green flag racing action as the field dives down into turn number 1. Tucker Holliday will go to that middle lane. Richard Murtaugh will do the same, trying to work over Matt Sanders. Further on back, 3 wide racing action. Kirby in the middle, Baum down low, Crow up top. And then behind them now, Bobby Manley, Wildison, and Childers. As Wildison maybe goes on around, he keeps it rolling. Same with Childers, as no one fully spun. We stay green flag racing as we get 4 wide there for a second off of turn number 4. Justin Thompson, man on mission. Oh, Kenny Hay, big time into the outside wall there in the 46 machine. I believe he definitely got some neck code there because there was not contact, but definitely got some as Baum loses the front end of the 02 machine, washes up to that high line there. So 1 car on a mission here. Justin Thompson trying to race his way back up to the front. Right now up into 7th. As he gets around Shane Yates on the top side. The question is, do we see any more yellows? Trevor Manley out in front over 2nd advantage over Tucker Holliday. Holliday in 2nd, Matt Sanders then falls in 3rd, Richard Murtaugh 4th, and then a battle for 5th as it looks like Brandon Marlowe will get around Joseph Grandy for that 5th position. Now Justin Thompson to the inside of the 518. Thompson will throw it down to the inside, slide it right up on the nose of the 518, make it work. Thompson getting through this field quickly, but is it quick enough? Because last time by, we saw 2 open palms from the flag man. 10 laps to go as we see Aaron Kirby now duking it out with Ethan Bryant. Those tires on Bryant car definitely fading on back as 1 car in the wall. I think Thompson getting a little piece of it there, jumping the cushion there in 1 and 2 that time by. So far out in front, all single file at the moment. As Holiday, though, losing a little bit of ground to our race leader, Matt Sanders, catching the back bumper of the 16. Murtaugh, it's kind of been similar pace with Sanders, so if those two get duking it out for too long, he could maybe sneak onto the podium before this thing's all said and done. Joseph Grandy and Shane Yates continue to duke it on out. Looks like Yates will get that position further on back. Stephen Hoffman trying to go around the long way on the top side of Kenny Haight. Nick Baum with that damage O2 machine trying to make it work, as Haight will maybe go on around, not quite, as Stephen Hoffman definitely having some right front damage. Can he make it to pits? No, he cannot. Yellow flag coming on out here tonight with 5 laps to go. As we'll take a look here, see Stephen Hoffman, and yep, once again, that right front hanging on with the tether. Stephen Hoffman's race coming to a early end with 5 laps to go. So now this is where it gets wild. A 5-lap shootout to end the season with. Oh man, folks, with how they're running though. Justin Thompson gonna walk away with his first championship of ASRC, but Trevor Manley trying to end it on a high note with the runner-up in the points with a win. If he can hold off the likes of Tucker Holiday and Matt Sanders, it is gonna be a wild one, folks. That is for sure. I guess I didn't show you guys a replay here. We'll take a look, see what happened to Stephen Hoffman here to bring out this most recent yellow flag here tonight, and already stuck in the wall, but we kind of saw it live. Him and Kenny Haight getting together there in 1 and 2, and then Hoffman making hard contact to the outside wall, and that right front already detached off that 86 machine. Alrighty, folks. The iRacing pace truck heads down pit road. Single file restart because we are in 10 laps to go. And Trevor Mattingly will jump on it here. And we go back to green flag racing action for the final shootout here tonight. Mattingly gets away. Here comes Matt as big time calamity here in turns 1 and 2. As it looks like drivers trying to get their cars righted in the right direction, but we're going to try and take a look, see what happened to bring out this yellow flag. We're going to go take a look at a wide camera and see what happened here. On the start, Ethan Bryan, a lot of wheel spin from that 76 machine. You can tell how killed those tires are, and then behind, a big time stack up and drivers having nowhere to go further on in the back. And yeah, that was just caused with some high tire wear, and oh man, Jason Crow, big time impact to that inside tires there in that 27 machine late into that yellow. So a tough break there for some of the guys just trying to finish off this race here. As that will click off another lap, so we will have a 4-lap shootout now to decide this race. Top 5 looking like the following: Trevor Manley leading the way, Tucker Holiday in second, third is Matt Sanders, fourth Richard Murtaugh, fifth going to Brandon Marlowe, sixth Justin Thompson, seventh Shane Yates, eighth Joseph Grandy, ninth Aaron Kirby, rounding out the top 10, Bobby Mattingly back on up there. So we get ready to rock and roll here, see if this is the last restart of the night, as we are up to restart number 7. As the long snake of Pro Late Models head through 3 and 4, Trevor Manley will jump on it here, and we go back to green flag racing action. So far, so good through the field. We'll take a look here. Battle for second. Heating on up here as Richard Murtaugh tries to drive it in there deep. 3 wide for second as now Tucker Holiday in the wall. Matt Sanders got into him a little bit. Popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 laps to go. Murtaugh with a big slider. Matt Sanders having to get on the binders. He will cross him down low. Matt Sanders not a big slider that time. That will allow Murtaugh to have the run up top. This time by white flag out. Mattingly out there by himself. T-Matt looking pretty good. Matt Sanders now will cross over Murtaugh. Here comes Brandon Marlowe. 3 wide. Marlowe will get turned. Big time hit for Tucker Holiday. Marlowe goes up and over and off of turn number 4. Trevor Mattingly picks up the win. Matt Sanders will finish second. Richard Murtaugh will round out the podium. But a tough break to Brandon Marlowe, who ended up flipping, ended up finishing this race. So we got to take a look, see what happened here to Brandon Marlowe real quick. As once we do this, of course, we'll talk to our top 3. But here through 3 and 4, we got to take a look here as 3 wide racing action just gets a little bit too tight as Marlowe tries to go to the inside of Murtaugh. Murtaugh gets stuck on that right rear. Tucker Holiday with a big impact to the outside wall. And Brandon Marlowe going up and over on the top side, able to land on all 4s and finish the race. But out on the front stretch, we have our top 3 and, of course, our champion. So we'll be right back after commercial breaks to talk to our top 3. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
The American Sim Racing Club, home of the fastest growing fixed setup league on the server, the Dirt Pro Late Model Series, presented by Horsepower Happenings. Every Sunday night on the Turn 3 Racing Network, watch the server's best battle for more than 50 laps at some of the nation's most grueling tracks. From the Bristol Dirt to the Charlotte Dirt Track, Kern County to Fairbury, over 24 drivers a week put it on the line for a shot at over $600 in the championship points fund. Join us every Sunday night at 9:30 for the ASRC Dirt Pro Late Model Series on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Alrighty, folks, we come back here to the dirt track of Charlotte and dialing up, well, technically our top 4, but our 4th place driver will wait to the end. First up, we have our 3rd place finisher, that being the Rocket, Richard Murtaugh. Richard, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
I got you.
Alrighty, man. A 100-lap race, that had to be tiring. How are you feeling after 100 laps at the dirt track of Charlotte?
Pretty good. It was such a weird race. I didn't really expect them people to go out there and go for it the entire 100 laps like most of these guys did, and it kind of put us all in a bad position where all of us who were saving had to pick up the pace, and I felt like at the very end, if we didn't have to pick up the pace, we would have been quite a ways faster than a lot of these guys. But I don't know, it was really weird. I wasn't really used to people just going out there for the 100 laps and just giving it their all. So it's definitely a big learning curve.
Yeah, definitely some different strategies. We saw Tanner Hutchins quickly, like you said, drop the hammer and really put everyone in a spot to either say, hey, I'm going to still save and risk going a lap down, or like a lot of you guys said, hey, we got to keep a little bit faster pace and try and prevent that.
Yeah, that's that's what all of us were trying to do. We're trying to stay ahead of the ahead of him to not get put a lap down. So it was definitely really weird. They were calling out how he was like coming up to lap everyone. So we all had to pick up the pace, and it really showed there at the end who had the fresh tires and who didn't.
Yeah, that it did, as you were definitely one of the guys moving through the field there late. What do you think you needed to go a little bit differently here tonight to be parking a couple spots a little bit better?
I wish I saved a little more. Once they got way out front there, and I was running third. I was running eighth, and then I picked it up to third and started reeling them in because I didn't think we would get a yellow, and then we got a couple yellows back to back to back, and it really that really hurt us picking up the pace like I did. So I feel like if we didn't pick up the pace, we would have been way better there at the end and had a lot more tire left.
Yeah, I agree. As I got to ask you this too. You're one of the highest cars up on the track on both ends. I mean, you're about putting that right rear quarter panel into the wall on corner entry, let's say. I mean, did you find something up there, especially towards the end, that had a lot of traction?
Yeah, when I could hit the top, I was about a whole tenth a lap quicker than everyone. So I would hit it right, and I'd just reel everyone in, and I really couldn't make it work because I was right on top of everyone like the whole race. So I felt like if I got to second there and had clean air, I could have ran Trevor down. We were so much faster up on the top, but trying to run that line when people are right behind you, if you mess up just a little bit, your night's over. You're getting turned. So it was way faster up top, but just kind of had to run a lane below that to just kind of stick with everyone and try to make moves. So it's kind of what we did. Did I lose you? I think your mic's not working, Brett.
Oh, there you go. Thanks. As always fun here in the booth. But I was going to ask, that last lap there, Rich, what'd you see in the 33 machine? It looked like drivers going for it, leaving it all on the table. What'd you see in the cockpit there on your vantage point?
I'm not exactly sure. I haven't had a chance to look at the replay yet. As soon as this is over, I'm gonna go check it out and exactly see, because me and Matt were throwing sliders on each other, just kind of going for the final podium spot there, and then I went to cut under him, and I think it was Marlowe. I don't even really know who it was. I right rear hooked someone up into the fence. So I got to go look and see exactly what happened, but it was just kind of a whole mess and wasn't intentional on my part. So I'll go check it out and go from there.
Yep, that definitely looked like hard racing throughout all you guys trying to go, like you said, for those last podium spots. So I believe, Richard, here tonight, you have continued every time you've loaded into a session, have talked to me at the end of these races. So, I mean, going from that, man, how do you do it, and how do you find speed on all these different tracks to be able to, talk to the broadcaster, which is pretty much everyone's goal by the end of the night?
Put a lot of practice in. Me and the entire Premier team were practicing for probably 3 to 4 hours a day, just kind of working on setups and stuff. So when we get in these races, it's kind of know what's going to happen, where to put our cars, and pretty much just, like I said, a lot of practice, and really felt like we had the championship locked up. If I ran all the races, we definitely had a huge gap over everyone. So looking forward to the other series that's coming up, and gonna run all those races and see if we can lock that championship up and run the Chili Bowl.
Alrighty, we look forward to you out on track and hopefully a full-time schedule for next season and see what you can do in that championship. So, the Rocket, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you one last time this season and thank who you got to thank, either on the car or watching at home.
Well, first gotta start out with saying sorry to my buddy Tucker Holiday. He got caught up in that big mess there at the end, so apologies to him. All the guys back at Premier Racing Setups for all the help. This was we were all kind of working together there at the end, had some strategies, and shout out to all them guys, Matt, Tucker, Michael, everyone back at the Discord. Rocket Racing Graphics, 180 Flood Drive Properties, Armar Racing, Unrivaled Photography, VP Racing Fuels, Youth Broadcasting, and all the admins, Zach, David, you, and everyone kind of behind the scenes, and those that race, and the viewers.
Alrighty, man. Always a pleasure talking to you. You have yourself a great off season, as I think the schedule has been announced. I believe it's January 28th, the start of next one, but I'm looking forward to that Chili Bowl, and I know a lot of other people are too. So, Richard, have yourself a great rest of the night and having a great off season.
You too.
Alrighty, folks. That was our third place finisher, Richard Murtaugh. Now we head over to our second place finisher. Let's see if we have him up in the booth here. I don't quite see him in the waiting room, so have not seen Matt Sanders. I saw him for a minute. I haven't seen him since, so we'll give him some time. If he's watching at home, be sure to jump on in. We'll get a word with you. So hopefully you're still on out there. So we're going to go now dial it up to our race winner, that being the 13T machine of Trevor Mattingly. Trevor, do you got a copy of Breath Jet in the booth here?
Yes, sir, I do.
All righty, Trevor. Tell us about this. Well, I should ask, how you feeling after this 100-lap or longest race on the schedule? Have you caught your breath yet?
Oh, yeah, man. I actually, I was sweating there at the end of that one, but for whatever reason, I was just keeping my cool and riding around there. We didn't start pushing it hard and heavy until about lap, I think it was 65 or 70 there, and found ourselves in a good position and stuck our nose in there and ended up getting to the front. Once we got up there, it was going to be hard to pass, I think.
Yeah, that it was, Trevor. It seemed like people kind of had their situations mostly made it in their beds with their tires and the handling of the cars. How'd you feel about your car there at the end? It seemed like you still had some pretty good speed before that flurry of yellows at the end. You know, you walked out to a second advantage over everyone.
Yeah, that I think second to last caution that come out there, I was out to about a second and a half lead, and I felt great. The car was feeling really good, and I wasn't actually pushing super hard there. I got out to about a second lead and started backing off because I didn't know if the guys behind me were doing the same or what. There wasn't but 15 laps left, but I started to back off a little bit and actually found some more speed to the middle of the corner because I was not in the gas so much. So you just find little stuff like that through 100 laps and try to put it all together into one at the end. And right there, I feel like I had pretty good speed.
Yeah, that you did, Trevor, ending tonight on a high note down in victory lane. But the bigger picture of that championship, you tried your hardest here tonight. Not quite enough with those technical difficulties you had last week. I mean, that had to be heartbreaking, and I'm sure some angry phone calls to some tech companies.
Yeah, man, you can't be mad about it. I mean, I am, of course, because I would have loved to come out of here points champion, but it couldn't have went to a better guy. Justin, he's cool. But yeah, I was not happy. Let's just say it at the least. Went to load into the heat race, and just went to when the grid and then the time starts up. I was clicking it, and nothing was happening, and ended up switching over to my hotspot and on my phone and raced the B main and made it into the feature. And I guess the hotspot internet couldn't handle all the cars for the feature, and I had to pull off. So it's just like real life racing. I mean, as transmission goes out, I mean, you throw a motor, same thing would happen. You ain't gonna be able to race. So it's mechanical issues, and it happens in real racing. It happens on iRacing too, and ain't nobody to blame, but we'll be here and get them next time.
Exactly. I was going to bring up that exact point, Trevor. You know, in real life, you have all sorts of mechanical gremlins that could bite you at any time. And here on iRacing, people think, oh, it's just a video game. You know, you go out there, run as hard as you can, do all that. It's like, no, there's all sorts of stuff, whether PC, internet, you know, you still have to have that key thing, that luck on your side, especially to walk away with a championship when it's all said and done.
Oh yeah, man. It's, you know, people say iRacing is just a game, but you know, we get on here every Sunday night. We've been running. I'm not sure exactly how many weeks, but it's like eight plus weeks, and you get on here every week, and you're shooting for the, of course, the points championship, and then you get right down to the nitty gritty, and then something like that happens. It really does get to you. If especially me, I'm really competitive, and stuff like that you can't control. It happens, and I I'm mad about it, but you know, who do you be mad at? So it's a hard deal, but like I said, it couldn't have went to a better guy. Justin, congratulate him on the championship. He ran a hell of a season. We're gonna start calling him Super Consistent or Mr. Consistent because he, when in doubt, he's gonna be up there at the end of it. I don't care where it is, how many laps it's gonna be, what happens. Um, he'll be there, and he's a stand-up guy too. We've been getting pretty close this season in Discord and playing Call of Duty and a couple other things, and he's a genuine dude. So it couldn't have went to a better guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Trevor, awesome season for you. You know, runner up in the championship, fighting for a points battle. You can't ask for too much more than that. And I guess looking at the bigger picture, the championship still not leaving the stable. It's still going to your Kentucky boys.
Oh yeah, man. That's why I'm, you know, not too upset about it. Of course, like I said, I would have loved to come out of here points champion, but it couldn't have went to a better person, and we can keep it in house and keep it with the boys. I can't ask for nothing better, and I'll take second all day. Um, so it we're ready to get Tanner and Bobby and Aaron up in there, Nick as well. Get him to run all the races. Have some good luck. We'll all be there. We've come a long way this season as a team, and just being able to listen to each other and trust each other in like heat races and watching each other run lines and stuff. It's a big deal because iRacing is all about hitting the right line, and every position matters. It's just like real racing. So it it's a fun deal to get on here and race with guys that you can cut up with and have a good time with, and uh, you know, it don't cost us nothing. So can't ask for nothing better.
Yeah, you cannot, Trevor. It's always been a pleasure talking to you throughout the season and coming on strong late in the season, walking away with a great momentum into the off season. Are you planning about doing that Chili Bowl race? How good are you on those dirt midgets?
I'm about a weapon, but we'll try to practice up on it, and I'll try to be there. I try to support all I can, uh, support you guys all I can, cause like I said, y'all for the past about 6 months, 8 months, y'all have been the reason I've been getting on iRacing and stuff, and it gives me and you know Bobby and Tanner and Aaron and all them guys, Nick, Justin, a place to come every Sunday and race, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, always great having you, Trevor, and the guys you bring along. It's always a great group of guys, you know, like you said, the people themselves and the racers that they are when those helmets go on and then the visors goes down, that you can't ask for much more than that. So, Trevor, for the final time this season, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank, either on the car or watching at home.
Yeah, man, got to thank all the Kentucky boys. Um, like I said, we've come a long way this season. We're gonna give them hell next season. Um, all the guys over at HotLap Heros as well. They're a long time. I've been with some of them guys since 2020, going on 3-4 years. So there's some longtime friends over there. Um, Team at Speed Shop, Snap On Tools, M&H, Tent Rentals, Clean as Whistle Car Wash. Let's see, you for putting on the broadcast. Zach, uh, Dave, Tanner, and all them guys over at ASRC. Got to thank FMS Rapid Graphics. I about forgot Aaron, and he'd have been a little salty. So FMS Rapid Graphics, Aaron Kirby, hit him up for a rap, real life raps, iRacing raps, whatever. I think that's it, man.
Alrighty, Trevor. Always been a great time. Yeah, you can't forget about the rap guy, especially a teammate at that. So, Trevor, you have yourself a great rest of the night. Enjoy the off season, and we'll look back to seeing you out on track for the winter or the first season of 2024 with these Pro Late models.
All right.
Alrighty, folks. That was Trevor Manley getting the job done here tonight down in Victory Lane. But now we'll go talk to the man of the hour, that being Justin Thompson. Justin, you got a copy? It's Breath Jet in the booth here.
Yes, sir. Got you.
Alrighty, man. So usually, we don't interview the fourth place driver, but tonight you're more than just the fourth place driver. You're walking away with your first ASRC championship. Justin, how you feeling?
Feeling pretty good, actually. I mean, I hate that Trevor had some difficulties last week, but, it's been a damn good season. It was good racing with Trevor all season and fighting for the points lead after me and him took it over and was top two in points. It was a really tight battle the whole way. It was a lot of fun. This race was a lot of fun. I almost got to third tonight. He almost would have had me for a podium. If I would have had a couple more laps, I think I could have done it. But it's just been a roller coaster of a season. Opened up, and it was a little rough going at the start, and then I hit my stride and just found that consistency that I needed to be at to position myself properly for the end of the season.
Yeah, that you did an awesome job, Justin, doing. And speaking about that consistency, your teammate there in tonight's winner gave you a new nickname. He says you should be called Mr. Consistent.
Yeah, that sounds like something Trevor would say. Yeah, Trevor's a good old boy. I like him. All of them over at Kentucky, they're a good group of guys. I appreciate them adopting me after I joined this league. Team-wise, I've been teamless now for about a year and a half. But I've still got, of course, my brand loyalty to Matt Julis Ace Speed Shop. So.
Yeah, I tell you what, you joined those cats up there, and heck of a run by you guys. And I was saying, the championship trophy at least doesn't go too far in the stable, probably just a few garage doors down, because it's staying with the Kentucky boys, but going home with you, Justin.
Yeah, it gets to stay over at Kentucky for sure. Like I said, it's been great getting adopted by those guys. They're an awesome group of guys. We're all pretty much like-minded. We've spent a lot of time goofing off the racetrack, playing Call of Duty, and it's just been a good time all for about the last 4 or 5 months. It's been absolute blast.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it's been a blast watching you cut it on up here, Justin, on the dirt tracks. And I tell you what, I think I got to bring it up just because it always blows me away every time you talk about it. But you're out here running just like it's a real Pro Late model. No mirrors whatsoever on this car.
Yeah, if I was too busy focusing on the mirror when all that crap happened in front of me and Shane tonight, I think that was like the second or third caution. If I would have been, if I had a mirror on, I would have been paying attention to who's behind me instead of what's going on 3 or 4 cars in front of me. So, that had a lot to do with me and Shane not getting tangled up in that wreck, because he was checking up and, I saw the accident happen and I was checking up. So we were both able to find us a lane through. in that accident and not get tangled up in the wreck and end our races. So, I mean, a mirror, it's a catch-22. I mean, you can benefit from it by being able to block somebody, which, I mean, if you watch broadcasts, you see it a lot. Um, and then there's the plus sides of it where, you know, you're not watching the mirror and treating it like a Daytona race and just blocking everybody. You're paying more attention to what's going on in front of you, and you're racing the track along with the other cars that are in front of you. You're making ground at that point. You're not looking at what's behind you in your mirror in the past.
Yep, and I totally agree with that, Justin. You know, it can take a lot to, you know, get used to cars around you, but you do an awesome job with it there. Like you said, it does create one last distraction so you can really focus on it at the task in hand. So, Justin, overall, looking at the season, you know, like you said, a little bit rough start, but you hit your stride, picking up some victories this season, and then walking away with the championship here. And I tell you what, I bet you're going to have a fun off season. What's the game plan for next season? And how you feel about maybe some midget action with the Chili Bowl?
You know, I don't really run a midget a whole lot, but I mean, I've had some pretty good success with it, and a couple of old leagues that have ran it. So I mean, I'm not opposed to trying it, but at the same time, you know, kind of want to spend some more time with the family during the off season, not worry about that. Come back next season in late January, come in here and try to defend this title and hopefully keep it.
Yeah, great game plan there, Justin, as it's going to be another great season. I have a feeling a lot of great tracks, and of course, we'll probably even have some more talent, and of course, all the returning great drivers. So, Justin, for the final time this season, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank to be walking home with this championship this season.
First and foremost, Matt Jolisay Speed Shop, shopfergie22.com, Team CFN Esports, Sweet Victory Apparel Company, Victory Lane Racing, WR1 Sim Chassis, TAC 3 Defense, Spartan Transportation, Say High Performance, Sim Magic, SimMotion.us, Bitkill Racing Engines, all the guys at Kentucky for adopting me and, you know, bearing with me and me being the outsider coming in here and, you know, whooping up on them boys and taking away Trevor's three-peat that he was looking so forward to having. You, of course, for the broadcast. I mean, I really enjoy being able to go back and watch these things every week. Zach, everybody at ASRC that put the show on, give us a place to race every Sunday. It's a nice place to race. I enjoy it. I enjoy my time here. All the sponsors of the series, TNT Racing Engines, American All-Star Series, Pay-to-Win Setups, FMS Rapid Graphixs, HotLap Heros. You know, without them, we wouldn't be racing for any kind of money this season, and it'd just be bragging rights. But either way, it's still a fun place. So, money aside, bragging rights will do, but it is not. It is very nice to be able to race on a video game for money because, yeah, maybe we're not in a real car, but the race is very much real.
Well said, Justin, and once again, huge congrats on your first championship from ASRC, all the ASRC guys. Very proud of you, and heck of a season you guys put together. So, Justin, you have yourself a great time with the offseason. Go enjoy the championship, and can't wait to see what you bring next year in 2024.
Thank you, sir. Have a good off season. We'll see you January 28th.
Sounds good, buddy. Take care.
See ya.
Alrighty, folks, that was our champion, Justin Thompson, walking away with his first ASRC championship. He will be pumped up for sure, and probably till the end of next season. So, folks, let's wrap things on up and get everyone out of here at a decent time, as the future results looking like the following. Trevor Mattingly, Team Matt himself, picking up the win here tonight. Matt Sanders will finish second in the 2. Richard Murtaugh in the 33 will round out the podium. Fourth going to our champion, Justin Thompson in the 98T, rounding out the top 5. A great run by this guy, Joseph Grandy in the 518. Sixth going to last week's winner, Shane Yates in the 11. Seventh is Aaron Kirby in the 55. Eighth going to Bobby Matley in the 3M. Casey Childers with a great night here tonight will finish 9th in the 92. And Kenny Haight in the 46 rounds out the top 10. 11th going to Nick Baum in the 02. 12th is Cam Tucker in the 53. 13th is Tucker Holiday in the 16th. 14th is Ethan Bryant in the 7. 15th, Jason Crown in the 27. 16th, Brandon Marlowe in the 37. 17th, Jacob Smith in the 88. 18th, Stephen Hoffman in the 23. 19th, Brian Woodison in the 951. 20th, going to Dan Lloyd in the 9. 21st is Tanner Hutchins. And rounding out the field tonight, finishing 22nd, is Jordan Tucker. Then, folks, while I have it here is how the points shook on out. Justin Thompson able to walk away with the championship. Trevor Mattingly looking like 32 points back will finish second. Third going to Shane Yates over Nick Baum in fourth. Fifth, still hanging on to it, was Brandon Marlowe. Sixth in the points, Jacob Smith. Seventh, Richard Murtaugh. Eighth, Bobby Malley. Ninth, Tucker Holiday. Rounding out the top 10 in points is Joseph Grandy. 11th going to Cade Gailey. 12th is Cam Tucker. 13th is Aaron Kirby. 14th is Jordan Tucker. And rounding out the 15th in points and the last paying spot in points is Tanner Hutchins. So that would do it here for this season of the American Sim Racing Club Pro Late Models. Thanks again, everyone tuning on in, especially if you've been tuning in all season, whether either live or replay. We appreciate all you guys. I have been Brett the Jet from Turn 3 Racing Network. Be sure to check out Turn 3 throughout this week, as we have a lot of great broadcasters, a lot of great series to cover, and of course, a lot of great sim racing action. Got to thank all the season and series partners that made this possible. Of course, those all being on the right side of the screen, that being Horsepower Happenings, TNT Racing Engines, the American All-Star Crate Late Model Series Pay to Win Setup, FMS Rapid Graphixs, and HotLap Heros. Got to thank again, of course, Zach Heiser up in the admin side of things, doing a great job. We got to hear a word from Zach. Dave Payton helping on. Al Tanner Tallarico with the league. And, of course, everyone else at ASRC, from Nick Fleury, Tim Rogers, and Andrew Payne. So I have been Brett the Jet from the booth here tonight from the Dirt Track of Charlotte. Everyone have a great off season. Everyone take care, stay safe, have a happy holidays, happy Christmas, happy New Year's, all that fun stuff. And we'll catch you for the Chili Bowl. And then January 28th, we kick off the new season. So everyone take care, have a good one, and we'll catch you on the flip side. I've been Brett the Jet in the booth, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.
The American Sim Racing Club, home of the fastest growing fixed setup league on the server, the Dirt Pro Late Model Series, presented by Horsepower Happenings. Every Sunday night on the Turn 3 Racing Network, watch the server's best battle for more than 50 laps at some of the nation's most grueling tracks. From the Bristol Dirt to the Charlotte Dirt Track, Kern County to Fairbury, over 24 drivers a week put it on the line for a shot at over $600 in the championship points fund. Join us every Sunday night at 9:30 for the ASRC Dirt Pro Late Model Series on the Turn 3 Racing Network.